Yo, what is up, guys? It is the man in the can. It is Super Pigman here today with another video. Today we're going to be talking about some more Kenshi lore. It's been a while. And also I want to do a quick thing. Sorry about being late on uploading. I know I have like an every 3 days type of schedule type of thing. And it's just, I was a little bit overloaded with like some midterms that I had to take and stuff like that. So I should be smooth sailing from here on out until maybe December. So yeah, let's get straight into this video. So today we're going to be talking about pretty much the Book of Sacrifice and also the Holy Nation, like who Okran was. That's pretty much what we're gonna be talking about. It's like lore because it's related to a lot of things that actually happened. But let me say the first thing that I want to say about the Okran religion is that it's kind of like a cult if you really think about it. If you look up the definition of a cult and you look up the upbringing of pretty much the holy or the Okran religion, there really isn't a name for the religion, but if you look it up and you compare both the side to side, a cult and Okran's religion, you start to see that it's really just it's just a very glorified cult. Anyways, let's get straight into this. So pretty much, one of my viewers asked me who Okran was, and I thought about this. I have not made a video talking about the lore on who Okran is. I've only made a video on why the Holy Nation is great. So pretty much Okran was this person. His name was Cheriton, and I think Cheriton is probably like this really old person that could have been like one of the last ancients, because they say a lot of the ancients went insane, but they talk about that, but they don't really explain how many of them actually did. They just they don't never throw a number or something. It's kind of awkward, but I think Chitrin was pretty much a human. And if here, I'll read the book from you. The great father Cheriton was betrayed by his children, broken by their sin and their lack of faith, and so great father's power diminished and calamity erupted. But only when the lads began to swallow themselves did the children plead for their father. Only at time, desperation, and fear did their devotion burn brightest. But the great father was pure and forgiving, so he sacrificed himself for his beloved children to give them a new chance. He cleansed the planet of its sickness, but the task was too much, and Cheriton was split into two, one of light and one of dark. Together, the two gods existed in equilibrium. Okran, god of day, warmth and renewal; Narko, god of night, cold and destruction. And from that day forth it was known, the great father's sacrifice must not be in vain. The gods must be given strength, and the rest, yada yada. So pretty much, let's break that down. Let's break down the first part. The great father Cheriton was betrayed by his children, broken by their sins and their lack of faith. I think this is a clear reference to the ancient Cheriton. I think that might actually be an ancient researcher who created pretty much, the skeletons, and maybe he was alive around maybe the subbirth of, the Greenlanders, which is a subspecies of human, right? It's kind of like a humanoid species, right? And so I know you guys are probably enjoying this video and being like, wow, this is such a great video. But don't forget to subscribe and also join my Discord, which I'll have a link in the description, where we can talk about everything. We can talk about the Outer Worlds, we can talk about other videos, we can talk about anything. So make sure you guys do that. But anyways, back to the video. So he probably feels betrayed that now that he's under the Second Empire type of thing. Maybe he's like a long descendant, right? Like, that's a huge speculation, but I'm saying Cheriton is somebody who's an ancient. So maybe he's a long descendant of one, who knows, but he sees how both these people have been, have betrayed the ancients' way and what the ancients really wanted out of the planet, and they were broken by their sins and their lack of faith. They didn't have faith in what was previously established during the First Empire, and that's why the Second Empire fell, and it was the lack of faith to even kind of rebuild one. And also, when it says also the great father's powers diminished and calamity erupted, I think it's talking about how the Second Empire kind of fell and everything erupted. But what it means by the powers diminished, I think it's talking about the First Empire, how it fell, and now the Second Empire, how it's falling too. But only when the lands began to swallow themselves did the children plead for their father, or something like that. And I think this one is that's the only line that really confuses me, because they're probably asking for the ancients' help, but the ancients were mostly crazy now and they were mostly cannibals, so. But the Great Father was pure and forgiving, so he sacrificed himself for his beloved children. So, again, that I really don't know what that is. It's probably just a hyperbole to what, something actually happened. And cleansed the planet of its sickness. Now, it is known that probably Kenshi, the planet that we play on, is probably heavily, polluted and stuff like that. But nobody knows who cleaned it. And so when it says together two gods would exist in equilibrium, Okran, god of day, warmth and renewal, Narko, god of night, cold and destruction, I think that is a direct correlation to pretty much how the religion was formed. That Okran, the god of day, warmth and renewal, is pretty much kind of like a little sprinkle of a hint to that humans are pretty much Okran. They're like Okran's children. And Narco is pretty much skeletons and everything else, because humans really only, are awake during the day for the most part. We're not nocturnal. And skeletons, well, they can be nocturnal and they can be, awake during the day. So I think that's a direct correlation to what's happening now. And, now it's just like, they're trying to say that humans, this is pretty much like what the book is trying to establish, is that humans are higher. Cheriton's teachings have honestly been lost throughout all this time, but Cheriton was probably the first Phoenix. He was the first guy that was actually Phoenix, or who created the first Phoenix, and said that this guy was to be respected as the arm, like the extension of me, pretty much. And I think that's probably what ended up happening, but it's been so long, 1,000 years has been so long since, the religion first started. So, and it's also heavily hinted that the phoenixes have been getting more corrupt, and that the one right now is the most corrupt. So mix that with a lot of time has passed, and of course they're not going to tell the right story. And Cheriton was probably the last ancient that was living, if you don't count the entire Bookmaster theory, but he's most likely the last, actually ancient that lived. And he set up pretty much this entire cult or religion, whatever you believe. And the Book of Sacrifice, I think, is the closest thing that you'll get to knowing who Okran actually was and who Narco and Okran are now. Because I think now Okran is supposed to mean that humans are the babies of Okran, and Narco is pretty much the skeletons, because they never get reborn. The skeletons have led all this destruction. The skeletons are dark, pretty much. They don't have any color to them. They're just dark. So pretty much I think that's what it is. Hopefully you guys do enjoy. Remember, leave a like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. And also the Outer Worlds lore stuff will be coming out soon, but we're on our way to 1K. Let's get there. Yay!